Welcome to Life and Living. Welcome to the press. The press is a gospel term now used to describe the passion, the zeal, the pressure now employed by those who were around the earthly ministry of Jesus, who perhaps wanted a piece of the action. The press. They employed the press. Now, Luke chapter 16 and verse 16, the Bible makes us to understand that, since the days of John the Baptist, that this gospel is preached, and it takes men who are prepared for the press to enter in. A certain woman, we were told, had, an outstanding problem for a long time. And we were also reminded about the gravity of her situation. She had suffered so many things in the hands of various physicians and had exhausted her savings. So she resorted as the last chance to get in the press, because she must have heard the man Jesus was meeting the needs of many in her situation. She came in the press. She broke through to touching Jesus, and we were told she was healed of her outstanding ailment. Paul, the apostle, made us to understand in Philippians chapter 3 and verse 14 that I press towards the mark of my upward call in Christ Jesus. In other words, Paul felt, perhaps at that time of writing, that he was still far away from, God expected of him, from the things that God had put in his life to achieve. So, he also employed the press. The question I want to ask at this point is now, what are you in the press for? And every man who must come in the press must have an objective. Now, we talked about a woman who needed healings for her body. We just described the man who needed to press on higher achievement in God. What do you come up into the press for? Because the press must have an objective. Paul declared, I do not fight aimlessly. I do not beat about the bush. And it is necessary that, we don't spend our time, our spiritual energy frivolously. Let's have an objective for our press. Now, like Jesus talking to those two blind men that came to him, he asked them, now, what do you want me to do for you? Now, this must be clear for everyone now who must come to God, to Jesus, in the press. Now, and once we have an objective for our press, Once we have now set before us the goal, there is now need for us to keep focus. Focus because the devil is hell afraid of a man who can keep focus. Focus is energies. Focus is obedience. Focus is prayer life. Focus is giving to his set objective. Because he knows there is no law in heaven or hell that can stop such a man from getting his reward. So what the devil does is to begin to throw some spanners into your wheel of progress. When he recognizes a man who is focused towards his goal, he will throw you some troubles. He will bring you some battles to contend with, or some little temptations to quench your fire. But we must be on the watch out. But the devil cannot succeed against us than if we will keep focus on the word, because victory already has been won on our behalf. So, we are saying in this broadcast, you must get into the press to achieve, to accomplish. You must get into the press to even fulfill your purpose, to get to your fullness in God. You must get into the press. The violent must take it by force. Why do some people don't press at all? So press has enemies. Number one enemy of the press is complacency. Some man can see beyond where he has arrived in life. But I must tell us that now wheresoever you have arrived, now whatsoever it is you have accumulated, I'm saying there is still someplace better than where you are. So don't let complacency stop you from pressing ahead. Well, we have also seen cases where people have been defeated, stopped from the press by their past, by history of success or failure in the past. We must allow that which is behind, like Paul declared to us. I forget those things that lie behind me, and now I press on to that which is ahead. There will be plain satanic hindrances, and like Paul stated in many places, now Satan hindered me, but thank God we have a victory that overcomes Satan and the world, even our faith. So we have to bring our faith into operation every time we come across satanic hindrances. Well, we are saying in this broadcast, you've got to get into the press to be the best that God will have you to be for the fullness of God, for fulfilling your life's purpose. Have to get into the press. And don't allow the devil to stop you. There's still a better tomorrow, a better place, wheresoever you have arrived. Well, thank you for being with us on this broadcast. And I see men rising up and pressing upwards. The Lord bless you.